Alright guys, let's go. I don't think this one's flooded, only those two. I don't want to go through any floods right now. I'm not used to this bike yet. Not really. Not that deep. Damn. Not a good place to go right now. Flooded, huh? Not a good place. Maybe I'll turn around. Not a good place. Alright, let's go back where we came. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So for this video I just want to kind of create another first impressions kind of video. I know I did it already. I just kind of want to do a proper ride because I didn't do it. I wasn't able to do it in the beginning because we started having rains here for 2 weeks. So now I'm taking advantage of this dry weather. So I'm just gonna talk about a few things that are actually been kind of bothering me from the last videos that I made. So just want to clear things up. So on the pros and cons video, I mentioned 3 negative things about the bike. One is the chain, and the build quality and comfort. So I kind of want to address the 2 of those things, which is the build quality and comfort. It's not because I did more research. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos about the bike, just learning the history, because this is my first super adventure. You know, I know they've been around for a while. I just this is my first one, so I want to know what I'm talking about before, you know, while I'm talking about it. And what I did, when I made that video, it's more of like just me going off the top of my head, you know, without any. So if I was like a random person just walking to the dealership and bought this bike, you know, that's my first impression of it. So so in a way that was kind of an honest take in terms of for me personally. But now I want to correct a couple things. So after watching the KTM's kind of presentation for this motorcycle back in 2021, actually I learned a lot about the bike. So the build quality, the plastics that they chose, the seat cushioning, things like that, it's actually all intentional. So it's their take. You know, it's not like if you compare it to a BMW, they have different standards. So their standard is not like it's low or anything. It's just they're primarily focused on performance. So performance has to do with the riding feel. So right now I'm riding an ergo seat, a heated ergo seat. So it's more comfortable than stock, but it's still on the firmer side. So so you got to go with an understanding of KTM is not about like cruising and all that stuff. They're about performance and speed. So the firmness is not a negative thing. They actually gives you a lot of feedback as a rider. So I just want to get that out there. So that's a correction on my part. So in terms of the plastics, they actually chose this. It feels a little flimsy or whatever. It's lightweight because of, once again, performance. So certain parts of it does feel flimsy visually on the surface, but they talked about choosing the right materials and reinforcing the right areas of the motorcycle. In terms of strength. So it's not. On the surface it looks like it's cheap, but it's really not. It's all strategically chosen and built. So if that's the case, actually there's really not much negative I can say about the bike, except for that it's a chain drive. then you have to take care of it every once in a while if you're riding a lot. And that's it, really. If I was gonna go back to what I said, it's not really there's not much negative things to say. So except for the chain, so I'm just not a fan of chain on a touring bike, because I just don't like taking care of it on a bike that I ride on a daily basis. But it only takes you, like, I don't know, 30 seconds to lube the chain, or brush it and lube it again. If you're gonna do a proper clean, it only takes like 5 minutes. It's like you just kind of degrease it, wipe it down, put new chain lube, and you're good to go. It's really not that bad. It's just, if you're gonna nitpick, that's just the one thing that sticks out to me. So there is that. What else did I talk about? The riding. So another thing that I want to address is the riding feel, the ergonomics. It's really it's really nice. It fits me very well. I'm 6'2". 6'2". I think I'm 6'2". I think I measured myself last night. It was 6'2". And I think my torso is a little bit longer than my lower area, but I don't know. But the way the angle of the handlebars are, how it sits, it feels really good to me. So on the GSA, it's a little bit higher. I think it's made for maybe taller riders by default. The GSA and all that stuff, the handlebars kind of sit a little bit high. So I do feel a little bit of a tingly sensation on my arms. So I think my torso, even though I'm 6'2", my torso is a little bit, I don't know, on the shorter side. I don't know, short or long, I'm not really sure, but this one's kind of, the way I sit on it by default, it just feels really good. And the balance of the bike, everything's working well. The past 2 weeks that I used it, riding it in the rain and things like that, it just opened my eyes to this type of adventure bike. I mean, I had a Multistrada in the past. I know what a performance adventure bike feels like, but this one is on a different level in terms of just the fun factor of it. Like I mentioned before with the Super Duke. The Super Duke is more of a punch you in the face kind of attitude. This is the same way. The Ducati is a little bit more refined, and the BMW is just a tractor. Tractors are always dependable. They just work, and they're just they just kind of work. They're just kind of like that. So that's the spectrum of, to me anyway, of those brands. So if you want a little bit more excitement, then this is the choice. The Ducati for sure is fast and all that, but the V4, you cannot deny the V4 engine. But I mean, this is quite fun, honestly. The LC8 engine is just something else. Technology, I've been riding it on street mode because I feel that's kind of like a good balance of comfort and kind of performance in a way. All the modes are semi-active, so it doesn't matter what mode you're at or preset that you use. It's semi-active, so it's still constantly changing no matter what. It's just biased to that mode that you're in. So it's biased to being more forgiving because on street level riding, there's a lot of potholes and things like that, like you see here. So it's more biased to comfort, but it's still semi-active, so it's still reading the terrain and reading the input and changing as it comes. So you can kind of just stay in street mode and you're gonna be all good to go for the most part. So if you want to be more aggressive, there's a sport mode, so there's that too. Yeah, it's sun setting. Such a nice colors of the sky. So what else? I just like the commanding stance of it. It just feels really good and confidence inspiring to ride this bike. It's a 19-inch front and 17-inch rear, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like both 17-inch wheels. It has the anti-dive system like a GS, and it does the same way. It gives you confidence when you're hard braking. It doesn't throw you to the front. It's just I don't know, man. Like, for some reason, I just love this bike. Like, I'm really surprised. I didn't expect to love it this much, this soon. I know it's a honeymoon phase, but I'm starting to love this bike. Like, looking at it too in the garage, it just looks amazing. The bike, like the shape of it and everything. I know it's been around for a while, but this shape is it started in 2021. It's quite different from the previous models. So I like that the low slung gas tank and things like that. I love that look. Yeah, just everything about it. I'll give you guys a walk around at the end of the video. I'll give you guys a quick walk around of what I've added so far. I've added quite a bit of things, but there's still more coming. I just ordered a bunch of stuff, so I'm trying to personalize this for me, and that's just the process. You know, you buy a lot of stuff. So I want to talk about crash bars for a little bit. So I ordered the Outback Motor Trek. I'm still recording. Outback Motor Tech crash bars. I ordered the full kit with the panniers and everything. So, but I didn't really like to add that much weight. I realized I actually mocked it up already, and I put it kind of put it on the bike. I put the pannier rack on the bike. At the end of the day, I was looking at it. I kind of didn't want to ruin the lines of the motorcycle. The bars are really high quality. It's super high quality. If you're looking for maximum protection, Outback Motor Tech is the place to go. But I'm kind of right now with this bike, I kind of want to keep the performance aspect of it, where I just want to keep the performance aspect of it, and I just can't put all that weight onto the bike. It doesn't make me feel good. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go with the KTM original crash bars, because I have the original skid plate. So I'm just gonna go with the KTM stuff. They're lightweight. They're sufficient enough to protect the bike on a fall over and stuff like that. I also got the what do you call this? I also got the Barkbusters handguards. So I think when I fall over, it's gonna hit this one first. Hit the lower crash bars. I think I should be good to go. I'm gonna take a risk, but that's what it is. That's the trade-off. So you have high protection, higher weight, or lower protection, lower weight. You know, so less protection, lower weight. I mean, I'm gonna go with the lower weight this time, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna regret it or not. We'll see. I've seen a lot of crash videos on the KTM 1290 with people that off-road them and stuff like that. Most of them are on just simple lower crash bars, and they seem to be okay, you know, for the most part. You know, we'll see. You know, I mean, I might regret it, I might not. We'll see. I want to talk about the transmission on this motorcycle. So the transmission is, so you know, guys know it shares the same engine as the 1290 Super Duke, but the transmission on this one, you could reach 6th gear no problem. I don't know how they did it, but I wish they did the same for the Super Duke. The Super Duke will never reach 6th gear. If you ask anybody that owns a Super Duke, that thing will cruise at 5th gear, you know, at 80, 90 miles per hour. It's still on the 5th gear. So I wish they had this kind of transmission on the Super Duke, but I'm happy that this bike has it. So it is what it is. What else? The transmission, yeah, great. Transmission is awesome on this bike. The speed, like I mean, obviously there's cars right now, but if it's clear, this thing is a rocket. Like it's so deceivingly like comfortable, and it's like it's fast. This bike is fast. It's like almost an imposter. It's not really an adventure bike. It's more of like a fast supermoto, if you ask me. So I love it. Like right now, that kind of stuff appeals to me. So I'm really happy. Really happy with the package, man. Like, I'm really curious why when I'm looking at videos of 2021 and 22 or whatever, the dash looks different. Like the menu system is different. But I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it on a different mode, but I just want to comment on that. Maybe they updated it for 2023 minor. I'm not sure. But maybe I think everyone's riding it on rally mode. There's a rally mode. Maybe that's what they're riding it on. That's why it looks different. But I just want to comment on that. And this compartment here, I want to comment on this specifically because this one will actually fit a small phone. The GSA doesn't. GSA, you can only put your earplugs, some cable chargers, and some coins, and that's it. This one you can actually put your whole cell phone in. I mean, not like a Galaxy Note or Galaxy Ultra or something like that. It's the smaller ones. You can still fit it, but at least you could. And there's a USB charger in there, so it's really just functionality wise. It's just great. All right. I think that's pretty much it.